Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum, selamat pagi. So hari ini kita akan tengok minggu pertama kita punya kelas untuk DKR 5233 WAN Technology and Security. So minggu ni kita akan tengok berkenaan dengan WAN Concept. So kita akan tengok WAN Concept, kita akan tengok WAN Technology Overview, how to explain WAN technology from small to medium business network. Kita akan tengok apa kegunaan WAN, macam mana WAN beroperasi. Kita akan tengok servis yang available kepada WAN, what is public WAN, what is private WAN, dan teknologi and protokol yang digunakan dalam WAN lah, wide area network. So what is WAN? Kenapa WAN tu perlu? Kenapa kita perlu ada WAN? So WAN interconnect user and LAN. A WAN operate beyond the geographic scope of a LAN. So LAN ni kita panggil local area network lah. So untuk menghubungkan satu local area network dengan satu local area network yang lain, kita perlukan apa yang kita panggil WAN, wide area network, di tengah-tengah untuk menghubungkan antara satu LAN dengan LAN yang lain. So WAN are used to interconnect the enterprise LAN to remote LAN in branch site and telecom communicator site. So katakan dalam slide ni, kalau dalam diagram ni kita punya main site, kita punya enterprise campus. So antara kita punya enterprise campus ni dengan kita punya remote site, untuk menghubungkan dia kita perlukan talian WAN ni lah, wide area network. So wide area network ni adalah gabungan lebih kurang macam gabungan a few router, frame relay dan sebagainya untuk menghubungkan daripada satu LAN ke LAN yang lain. So a WAN is owned by service provider, whereas a LAN is typically owned by an organization. Selalunya WAN ni, rangkaian WAN ni, wide area network, dipunyai oleh kita punya ISP lah. Kalau dekat Malaysia ni kebanyakannya adalah kita punya TM lah, Telekom Malaysia. So an organization must pay a fee to use WAN service provider network services to connect to remote site. So untuk kita connect between LAN to LAN punya site untuk guna servis yang diberikan oleh service provider, internet service provider tu, so kita perlu bayar fees lah, yuran ataupun subscription fee yang membolehkan kita punya LAN connect to another LAN menggunakan wide area network yang disediakan oleh kita punya internet service provider. So service provider provide link to interconnect remote site for the purpose of transporting data, voice and also video. So kenapa kita perlukan WAN? Without WAN, LAN would be a series of isolated network. Tanpa WAN, kita punya LAN tu tak boleh berhubung antara satu sama lain lah. Dia akan hanya boleh beroperasi, berfungsi di dalam rangkaian LAN tu sahajalah. So as organisation expand, business require the ability to communicate between geographically separated site. Contoh macam attack ni nak berhubung dengan site di HQ di Putrajaya, nak berhubung dengan attack di Kulim, attack di Taiping, di Bintulu, di Kemaman, Jerantut dan sebagainya. So dia perlukan WAN ni untuk menghubungkan rangkaian di dalam attack Batu Pahat dengan rangkaian di Ibu Pejabat di Putrajaya. So regional or branch office of an organisation need to be able to communicate and share data with the central site. So organisation need to share information with other customer organisation employees who travel on company business frequently need to access the corporate network. In addition, consumer now commonly communicate over the internet with bank, store and other provider of goods and services. So macam Shopee, macam Lazada, awak punya bank pun, banking kebanyakannya kita dah buat online, memang tu you CMB Click dan sebagainya. So all those things need wide area network to communicate between the local area network, between the site and also between the user. Okay, user yang ada di rumah untuk akses kepada bank tu punya server, bank tu punya database, untuk access bank tu punya sistem, so that we could do online transaction. Kita bila start COVID ni kita banyak PDPR, awak guna Google Classroom, all the data that are posted inside Google Classroom duduk pada Google service punya server, dia punya server farm. So all that data that connected between one local area network and another local area network are connected via wide area network, via WAN, menggunakan servis atau khidmat yang diberikan oleh kita punya internet service provider. So untuk WAN ni sama macam LAN, kita ada LAN punya topologi, kita ada star, kita ada mesh, kita ada ring, kita ada bus dan sebagainya. So untuk WAN pun dia ada topologi yang tersendirilah untuk menghubungkan antara LAN to LAN lah. So interconnecting multiple site across WAN can involve a variety of service provider technology and WAN topology. So there are 4 common WAN topology. First of all is point-to-point topology. Employ a point-to-point circuit between two endpoints. Typically involve a dedicated leased line connection, such as T1 or E1 line, transparent to the customer network and appear to be a direct physical link between two endpoints. So daripada site A ke site B, they connect directly menggunakan point-to-point technology. Okay. Another one is hub and spoke. Applicable when a private network, okay, connection between multiple site is required. So daripada satu site, dia nak connect to a few site, a few different site. A single interface to the hub can be shared by all spoke circuit. Spoke site can be interconnected through the hub site using virtual circuit and routed sub interface at the hub. Okay. So nanti kita akan tengok macam mana teknologi ini diguna pakai. Okay. Dan kita ada full mesh. Okay, full mesh ni, mesh teknologi ni lebih kurang macam kita belajar mesh pada local area network lah. A disadvantage of hub and spoke topology is that all communication has to go through the hub. So with a full mesh topology using virtual circuit, any site can communicate directly with any other site. A disadvantage is the large number of virtual circuit that need to be configured and maintained. So kalau hub and spoke, dia akan lalu hub lah, akan lalu satu hub dan dia akan pecah kepada a few spoke. Spoke tu dia punya laluan alternatif dia lah untuk pergi ke network yang dia nak disambungkan ataupun network yang dia nak pergilah. Tapi untuk mesh, macam kita belajar local area network lah, punya mesh, setiap site tu dia akan ada connection antara satu sama lain. So kalau katakan daripada site A nak pergi ke site B, it will connect directly. It will go directly between site A to site B. So kalau site A nak pergi ke site C pun dia boleh terus pergi ke site C. Kalau hub and spoke tu dia kena lalu hub dulu, baru dia akan pecah kepada site A, site B, site C lah. Dan kita ada dual home topology, provide redundancy and load balancing. However, they are more expensive to implement than the single home topology. So require additional networking hardware including router and switches, more difficult to implement since they require complex configuration. So dual home topology ni biasanya pada maybe dia punya main office, dia punya HQ, dia ada dua site, primary and secondary, yang akan connect between the branches, site A, site B and site C lah. So all the information will be shared between those two site yang ada di main site. So kalau salah satu daripada site di main site tu down, dia mesti ada lagi backup untuk connected to the branch site lah. Okay, tapi it require more resources and more money lah, of course. Okay, so kita tengok contoh. Okay, this is a case study of span engineering. How the network evolved and how it needed one technology. Okay, in slow economic time, many business focus on increasing their profitable by improving the efficiency of their existing operation, include establishing and managing their network. To justify such a large span, many companies expect their network to perform optimally and to be able to deliver an increasing array of service and application to support productivity and profitability. Okay, so this is general lah. So this part will focus on fictitious company called span engineering. Macam fictional company, tapi kalau awak search kat internet memang ada lah nama span engineering ni, more on construction and building company. So this topic will illustrate how span network requirement change as the company grow from a small local business into a global enterprise. So it started with a small office company, Span Engineering, environmental consulting firm for baru beroperasi dalam 4 tahun. Okay, have developed a special process for converting household waste into electricity and is developing a small pilot project for a municipal government in its local area. So it consists of 15 employees, 6 engineer, 4 CAD designer, a receptionist, 2 senior partner, and 2 office assistant. Okay, so small office use a single LAN to share information between computer, support their VoIP phone, share peripheral printer, large scale plotter, and it's connect to the internet using DSL. Use support service purchase from the DSL provider for IT support. So small office dia lebih kurang macam home office lah. So dia ada a few employee and dia punya internet access apa semua dia guna DSL broadband macam Unify yang kita ada sekarang lah. So all their device connected to that wireless router, that the DSL service. So dia punya printer, dia punya client, plotter dan sebagainya semua connected to that device. Okay, then 5 years later, Span Engineering has grown rapidly. The company was contracted to design and implement a full-size waste conversion facility, as well as other project in neighboring municipalities, dia punya majlis pemadaran lah, and around the country. So the company is now classified as small to medium-sized business with several hundred employees. So the company now occupy multiple floors of an office building. The network has grown to several sub-networks which span several floors of building, and the business now has an in-house IT staff to support and maintain the network. So this is the campus network. Boleh dikatakan dia punya local area network juga. So dia ada multiple LAN, divided into dia punya floor. Okay, one floor consists of dia punya marketing and sale, another floor consists of finance and accounting, another floor consists of engineering and production, and maybe dia is divided into a few VLAN dan sebagainya. Kita pernah belajar sebelum ni kan, switching and routing. So dia punya campus network consists of that. Okay, then another 6 years later, Spark Engineering has been so successful. They has expanded their operation and have opened small branch office closer to the project site. So the company was required to implement a WAN in order for the remote site to be able to access the data center which houses various database and server. So the branch office that are in the nearby city use private dedicated line through their local service provider. Tadi dedicated line mungkin dia pakai point to point lah. Okay, so office that are located in other countries must use the internet for their WAN connection. So kita tadi dia punya the branch office that are in nearby city use private dedicated line. So dia ada dia punya central office, kemudian dia ada branch office, so dia connected by maybe point to point lah. Then dia punya remote office, dia punya regional office akan connected using internet. Okay, internet WAN to connect to their central office and their branch office. So then Spark Engineering has now been in business for 20 years and has grown to thousands of employees distributed in office worldwide. The cost of the network and its related services is a significant expense. To increase profitability, the company must reduce its operating expense. So what method has the company used to reduce its operating costs? To meet the new requirement, the network must provide the necessary converged service and secure internet WAN connectivity to the remote site. As seen in this example, the network requirement of a company can change dramatically as the company grow over time. So mungkin dia punya central office masih lagi di sini. So untuk dia connect between branch office, regional office dan sebagainya, dia akan guna WAN services daripada ISP itulah untuk connect to the remote site. So kalau macam ni punya keadaannya, dia tak ada dah lah dedicated point to point private dedicated line through the local service provider, dah tak ada dah. Kebanyakan semuanya akan pakai internet connection for akan guna internet for their WAN connection. Tapi dia perlu secure dia punya internet WAN connectivity lah. Okay. Kenapa dia dah tak pakai, kemungkinan dia dah tak pakai dedicated line? Dedicated line is quite expensive. Sebab apa? Hanya kita je yang pakai line tu. So to reduce the cost, dia akan pakai other method of WAN connection. Okay, so WAN ni duduk kat mana sebenarnya? Sebelum ni kita belajar OSI model, kita belajar ada 7 layer OSI model, kita ada application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, physical dan sebagainya. So WAN operation focus primarily on the physical and data link layer of the OSI model. Okay. So data link layer requirement include physical addressing, flow control, and encapsulation. So WAN access standard are defined and managed by the number of recognized authority. Okay, TIA or EIA is the authority lah. Then kita punya standard organization ISO and also IEEE. Okay, so WAN operation focus primarily on the physical and data link layer of the OSI model. Data link layer requirement include physical addressing, flow control, and encapsulation. WAN access standard defined and managed by number of recognized authority. So layer 1 protocol describe how to provide electrical, mechanical, operational, and functional connect to the service of a communication of the service provider. So layer 1 ni dia punya physical layer lah. Then layer 2 protocol define how data is encapsulated and the mechanism for transferring the result frame dalam WAN punya services. So dia punya service on layer 2, PPP, frame relay, PPOE dan sebagainya. So there's a few of services yang kita akan tengok dalam kita punya kelas semester ni. So common WAN terminology, one primary difference between a WAN and a LAN is that a company must subscribe to an outside WAN service provider to use WAN carrier network services. Dia tak macam LAN, kita boleh jalan sendiri, tapi untuk WAN ni memang kena ada service provider lah, macam kita Unify ke line government yang Airtel pakai ke, so kena ada satu. So terminology commonly used to describe WAN connection, yang pertama kita panggil CPE, Customer Premise Equipment. Okay, Customer Premises Equipment, CPE. So consists of device and the inside wiring located on the enterprise edge connecting to a carrier. So kemudian kita ada DCE, also called Circuit Terminating Equipment, DCE. The DCE consists of device that put the data on the local loop, and the DCE primarily provide an interface to connect subscriber to a communication link on the WAN cloud. So ni kita tengoklah CPE ni yang keseluruhan ni. So kita ada DCE, dia punya Circuit Terminating Equipment yang masuk daripada service provider tu. Kemudian kita ada Data Terminal Equipment. So the customer device that pass the data from a customer network or host computer for transmission over the WAN. The DTE connect the local loop through the DCE. So daripada user dia akan lalu DCE, kemudian dia akan keluar untuk pergi ke internet service provider. Then kita ada demarcation point. This is the point established in a building to separate customer equipment from the service provider equipment. So dia ada satu tempat lah yang akan equipment daripada service provider akan bersambung, akan duduk kat sini. Dan kita punya local device, dia akan tarik daripada tempat ni, okay, cable junction box kita panggil demarcation point kepada kita punya equipment. Okay. Dan kita ada local loop, so sambungan daripada kita punya cable junction box kepada switch lah, the actual copper or fiber cable that connect from the CPE to the central office of the service provider. So daripada kita punya cable junction box ni, dia akan sambung ke central office. Okay. Kemudian the central office, the CO, is the local service provider facility or building that connect the CPE to the provider network. Then kita ada toll network. Toll network consists of long haul all digital fiber optic communication line and other equipment inside the WAN provider network. So secara simpelnya, secara ringkasnya, katakan kita ambil contoh Airtel. So kita ada ni bangunan Airtel. Okay. Ni ada satu bilik dekat Airtel ni terpanggil bilik SDF. Dia akan sambung sambungan daripada kita punya internet service provider sambung ke sini. Kemudian daripada bilik ni dia akan sambung ke kita punya local equipment. Okay, kita punya core switch, kita punya rack dan sebagainya lah, yang akan bersambung daripada core switch tu ke kita punya distribution switch dan akan bersambung kepada kita punya equipment. Okay. So daripada service provider ni daripada bilik SDF ni dia akan sambung ke local central office of kita punya service provider, TM punya central office lah, mungkin yang ada di Batu Pahat ni. So dia akan sambung ke local central office di Batu Pahat lah. Dan daripada local central office dia akan sambung ke one service provider punya toll network yang ada di seluruh negara kita punya network punya backbone yang ada di seluruh Malaysia. Okay, so that is gambaran yang kita boleh nampak lah. Okay, so What's the WAN devices, common WAN devices? There are many type of device that are specific to one environment. First of all is the dial-up modem. Okay, a legacy WAN technology that convert or modulate the digital signal produced by a computer into voice frequency, which are transmitted over the analog line of the public telephone network to another modem for modulation. So, sekarang ni dah tak ada lah dial-up modem ni. Legacy WAN technology that convert or modulate digital signal produced daripada komputer into a analog signal voice frequency which are transmitted over the analog line of the public telephone network to another modem for demodulation. So daripada sini dia akan convert, modulate dan dia akan hantar ke telefon public telephone line untuk dia hantar kepada ada server. Dan kita ada access server, legacy technology where the server control and coordinate dial-up modem, dial in and dial out user communication. So access server ni lah yang akan tentukan panggilan masuk, panggilan keluar daripada dial-up modem ni. Dan kita ada broadband modem, a type of digital modem used with the high-speed DSL, okay, this one, or cable internet service. Both operate in similar manner to the voice band modem, but use higher broadband frequency and transmission speed. Then kita ada CSU, DSU, digital lease line required a CSU and DSU. The CSU provide termination for digital signal and ensure connection integrity to error correction and line monitoring. The DSU, okay, convert digital frame into frame that the LAN can interpret and vice versa. Okay. CSU provide termination for digital signal and ensure connection integrity. DSU dia convert line frame into the frame that the LAN can interpret, line yang dia boleh baca lah. Okay. So the router provide internet networking and WAN access interface port that are used to connect to the service provider dengan kita punya local network. And kita ada core router or multi-layer switch. Okay. A router or multi-layer switch that reside within the middle or backbone of the WAN. So dia ada dekat dalam mana ni. Core router or multi-layer switch. Okay. Dan kita akan tengok ada sikit je lagi kita akan tengok WAN operation. Kita ada dua, circuit switching and packet switching. So a circuit switching is a circuit switch network that is one that establish a dedicated circuit or channel between node and terminal before user may communicate. So circuit switching definitely establish a dedicated virtual connection for voice or data between the sender or receiver. So communication can't start until the connection is established through the service provider network. Okay, dialing a number to make a call is an example of circuit switching technology. So dia akan, bila kita dial up, dia akan establish connection and daripada establish connection tu, dia akan establish sampailah ke dia punya receiver dan barulah communication tu boleh berlaku. So the two most common type of circuit switching WAN technology ada public switch telephone, kita punya line telefon tu lah, and also the integrated service digital network ISDN. Okay, so another method of operation is the packet switching. So in contrast to circuit switching, packet switching split the traffic data into packets that are routed over a shared network. So a circuit does not need to be established and many pair of nodes can communicate over the same channel. So there are two approaches to the packet switch network link determination. Yang pertama is the connectionless system. Full addressing information must be carried in each packet. The internet is an example of the connectionless system. Then connection-oriented system, the network predetermine the route for a packet and each packet only has to carry an identifier. So an example of the connection-oriented system is the frame relay. So packet switching costs less than circuit switching. However, latency and jitter are greater in packet switching network. Why? Daripada server satu, kita nak hantar data ke server 2. So in packet switching, dia akan divide the frame into segmented packet, and dia akan hantar through the network. So dia akan lalulah, mana laluan yang kosong dia akan lalu sampai aja ke destination. Destination ni lah yang akan satukan balik network ni. Paket ni. Dan barulah kita akan dapat the whole frame and we can read the whole information. Okay, so apa beza kedua-dua ni? Dia ada beza sikit lah. Okay, kalau connectionless system ni dia akan hantar the whole information, akan lalu kat setiap paket ni, dan bila dia sampai kita akan satukan all the packet untuk membentuk satu frame. Kalau connection oriented system, so dia dah ada predetermined route for each packet, and each packet akan ada identifier untuk identify mana nombor 1, mana nombor 2, mana nombor 3 untuk dia sambung dia punya the whole frame pada dia punya destination. Okay, so that's all for this week. Kita akan jumpa balik pada minggu hadapan. So saya stop sharing dulu. Okay, so kalau ada beberapa soalan boleh tanya pada WhatsApp group or kita punya Google Classroom. Okay, so see you next week.